Hey, what the heck is the matter with you, huh? Why were you hanging out around one of our important clients?
Oh, Kelly, I have to say, I didn't expect to run into you.
I know, right? The last time I saw you was at high school graduation about 10 years ago. Who knew that I would bump into you again like that?
Yep, I was definitely surprised, to say the least. I really thought that I'd seen the last of you. But I guess the world is funny like that. I would have never thought to run into you at my husband's company, of all places.
Wait, what? Your husband's company? What are you talking about?
Well, I actually got married last year, and the man I got married to owns the company you saw me at. He told me that he had forgotten some important documents at home, so I was just dropping them off. I guess that his secretary was sick and called out, so he didn't have anyone else he could ask.
No. Oh, this can't be right. You have got to be lying. I mean, are you actually telling me that you're married to a company president? And not just any company president, but the president of one of our most valuable partners? How in the world did someone like you manage that?
First of all, I would like to remind you that I am also a representative of this company as well.
So then you really help out your husband with all of his business?
I mean, I do when he asks it of me, but normally I stay at home and take care of our family. So there aren't actually many days when I'm really going into the office. I actually just happened to be in there at the same time that you happened to show up.
I see. Well, you certainly have changed, haven't you? You aren't that little crybaby that wouldn't stop yelling after she found out I stole her boyfriend from her. Instead, you're an uppity snob who thinks they're better than me because of who their husband is.
Do you really think I've changed that much since back then? Of course, I do remember how much it hurt me when I found out what you had done. So, yes, perhaps I have grown up and matured from this just a little. And I guess I learned that there are a lot of fish in the sea, so it wasn't really worth crying over a guy who cheated on me anyways.
You really must think that the world revolves all around you now, huh? You really have changed. After all, I remember even after I did steal your boyfriend, you still had the guts to show your ugly face in school day after day after that. Oh man, I'm actually starting to crack up laughing just thinking about how it used to be back then.
That's fine. And if you think it's funny, you should laugh. After all, it's all behind us now. And I'm afraid that your petty bullying just isn't going to work on me anymore.
You really are such a bore now, do you know that? But you're right, the past is the past, and I need to be thinking about what to do next.
What to do next? What do you mean by that?
Well, I just wonder how you'd react if I stole your husband like I stole your boyfriend. That would just really crush you.
Are you serious?
Of course I am. I've made up my mind and I know what I have to do, so you can kiss your little marriage goodbye. I'm going to steal your husband and turn you back into that crying, scared little girl you were in high school. Then you'll be so crushed that you'll think twice about trying to get with a guy above your post.
I really can't believe that you're actually telling me all of this.
Oh, come on. Did you really think that you were going to get your happily ever after with this guy? That's just in movies. Besides, if anyone deserves that kind of life, it's me. You may have fallen in love with this guy by chance, but when it comes to stealing men away from their partners, no one is better than me. And then once I've made your husband mine, I'll be the wife of the company president.
Hey, Iris. I just wanted to thank you again for your help today. I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't brought in those documents.
Well, I'm just glad that I was able to be of some help to you today. It had been so long since the last time I was in there that I had forgotten how big the building was. I always get so nervous walking through those big entrance doors.
Well, you know that we're actually working on an expansion project right now, right? By the way, who was it you were talking to in the office today? Did you run into someone that you knew or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. It was actually a girl I used to go to high school with. Apparently, she's working with a company that you partner with.
Oh, I see. Well, wow, what a coincidence. Sometimes the world is just a little too small, don't you think? It seemed like you guys had quite a bit to talk about. But anyways, I'd love to hear about your day. How about I take you out for dinner to say thanks for helping me out? I feel like it's been so long since you and I were able to go on a nice, quiet date by ourselves.
Oh, you don't have to do that, Zeke. And as for that woman, I'll be happy if I never see her again.
Wait, what? What's the matter with her?
Don't you remember? I had mentioned her to you before. She was the girl from high school who stole my boyfriend from me. I had really hoped that I would never have to deal with her again. Until today, that is.
You mean that was her? So what I thought was you having a friendly conversation was really...
That's right. I'd done my best to avoid her ever since we graduated. I wasn't expecting to run into her at all. But when I did, I guess that I just kind of froze up. Anyways, I ended up mentioning to her that you and I were married.
Oh, wow. I'm really sorry that happened then. And to think that you wouldn't have managed to avoid her if I hadn't asked for a favor of you.
You really don't need to blame yourself. After all, I'm not the person I was back then, and I'm so happy to be married to you. But I just think that you should be careful, okay? Because apparently Kelly decided to make you her next target.
Her next target? What does that mean? Why should I be careful?
Well, she threatened to try and steal you from me like she did with my boyfriend in school. I guess she wants to take my place as the wife of the company president.
What? Are you serious? What is this lady's deal?
That's what I'm saying. This is why I was trying to avoid her for this long. If she hasn't improved at all since high school, then I think it's fair to say that she's only gotten worse.
I mean, it's one thing to pull that kind of thing in high school, but we're all adults now. And she works for a company that we partner with? What is she thinking trying to get with a married man like me? That's just so stupid. I mean, does she not realize the effect that trying something like that could have on her career over there?
I don't really think that she is the kind of person to think before she speaks. But I also doubt that she would change her mind once she's announced that she's going to do something. That's why I'm telling you to be careful.
Right. Well, I guess I'll keep my eye out for her and try to stay away. Thank you so much for warning me about this. I really don't want to get suckered into any of this lady's scheme, so I'll be careful.
Just thought you should know that your husband is all mine now, so be a good girl and let me marry your company president husband. I already have the divorce paperwork drawn up, so let's not drag this out, okay?
What in the world are you talking about this time?
Oh, you'd find out soon enough, so I'm just telling you now. I have stolen your husband, and now he is obsessed with me. Of course, I'm not all that surprised that a man like him would see the value in being with a woman like me.
Literally, what in the world are you talking about, Kelly? I don't know what you're trying to tell me.
Remember how I told you I was going to steal your husband? Well, I've gone and done it, and now we're going to get married and I'll be the wife of the company president.
Are you sure that you've gone and done it? Because I don't think you have. In fact, I know that my husband would never ever betray me like that, so please be serious with me.
If you don't want to believe me, then that's your fault. But it's the truth. Your husband is head over heels in love with me. And as proof, he even invited me out for a lovely dinner date last night. So what do you think about that?
You're telling me that my husband invited you out on a date?
That's right. I had tried sending him so many messages and emails, and he never got back to me at all. So I decided it would be best to talk to him face to face. I went into the building to go to his office, and we ended up riding in the same elevator by chance. I took that chance to tell him who I was and confess my feelings for him.
You confessed your feelings to my husband?
That's right. And then he said that he liked my passion and invited me to a lovely restaurant with a view of the city. That means that he likes me back. And that's why I am so sorry to say, but the two of us are going to spend one hot night together. As for you, well, you can just enjoy a lonely night at home all by yourself.
I don't know what you're talking about, but my husband is not going to go on any date with you. And I certainly don't think he's said anything to express that he had feelings for you. So I'm still not quite sure why you think that you've successfully stolen him from me. If he even has invited you to dinner, I wouldn't read too much into that.
You really just don't understand anything at all, do you? Why would a man invite someone other than his wife out for dinner? Obviously, it's because he's much more attracted to that woman than he is to his own wife.
Are you serious?
Of course, the only reason a man would go out to eat with a woman who wasn't his wife is if he was trying to have an affair with her. Sure, he might understand that others might see doing something like that as taboo, but the fact that he invited me proves just how much he really likes me. And if he likes me enough to go on a public date with me, then you and him are as good as done. He doesn't like you anymore. We're going to get married, and there's nothing you can do about it. And so just like I stole your boyfriend in high school, now I've stolen your company president husband. So why don't you start crying already, you loser?
The only crying that's happening is out of laughter. My husband and I are both cracking up at these.
Wait, what? What do you mean?
I mean that we're laughing so hard that tears are streaming down our faces. It hurts to laugh. Oh man, we were actually laughing so hard I think I pulled something.
Now, hold on just one moment. What do you mean your husband is there with you?
Of course he is. The office is closed today and he didn't have anything in his schedule book. We just ordered pizza and have been staying at home basically all day.
Wait, but then I don't get it. Why is he choosing to have dinner with you and not me? He told me that he was going to take me out to an amazing restaurant with a view of the city. It's only a little longer until the time when he and I were supposed to meet. He's not really going to ditch me, is he?
You really need to wake up and live in reality with the rest of us. I never once said that I was going out to dinner with you.
Wait a second. Is this Mr. Masterson?
That's right. And I must say I was blown away by our interaction in the elevator. I mean, you basically cornered me and refused to let me off until I agreed to what you were saying. You forced me to ask you out to dinner, but I was never actually going to go through with that.
Wait a second, I don't get it. I thought you were asking me out because you liked me.
I only asked you out because I wanted to get off that damn elevator. I had a very important conference call that I was trying to make and I wasn't going to let you hold me up.
But, I mean, this can't be right.
It wasn't right. I don't even remember what time I said we'd meet or where.
That can't be right. You said that you were going to meet me in an hour.
Well, okay then. Wait an hour and see if I show up anywhere. Just don't be surprised if your boss shows up instead of me.
My boss? What are you talking about? Why would he be there?
I know that I said that I would think of a place with a good view of the city, but I certainly didn't say I'd make a reservation. Anyways, the place I had in mind was your boss's office. He has quite a good view of the city at night, right?
My boss's office? What are you talking about? Wait a second. My boss's car just pulled up. What the heck is going on here? I thought that you were obsessed with me, and that's why you wanted to go out on a date with me, right? I thought that you were trading Iris in for me.
Why in the world would I ever want to be with someone like you? You spam my email with all kinds of crazy messages and corner me in the elevator in my own company. You can bet that I showed your boss all those emails and the security footage of the elevator. He's the one who suggested speaking with you.
Did he really say that? Why would you do this to me?
I was willing to overlook the emails, to be honest with you, but I didn't think that you would actually try and confront me face to face. And I figured that if I was going to be dealing with someone willing to do that, I would need to bring in some extra support.
So that's why you went and told my boss about what I was doing? I thought that we were going to keep our love private at first. How could you go and get my boss involved in what's supposed to be between you and I?
You still just don't get it at all, do you? I'm the president of a company that is very important to the survival of your company. Did you really think anything positive was going to come out of harassing me like you did?
But, I mean, I didn't think I was harassing you.
If you really didn't think that was harassment, then you're only making me feel better about involving your boss. In fact, we were going to try and handle this during work hours, but I told him about the business with the elevator and fake date, and he agreed to talk to you now.
This can't be happening. Things weren't supposed to go this way. Please, you have to help me. Can't we just calm down and talk about this? Oh, surely you must see how much prettier I am than Iris, right? I am much more suited to be the wife of the company president.
If anyone needs to calm down and think things through, it's you. Besides, why would I want to be with you again after all this time?
Be with me again? What are you talking about?
You really don't remember? We used to date in high school. We had actually been dating about a year before you left me. In fact, I remember the day that you left me because it was actually the day that you told me you were with Iris's ex-boyfriend. Well, anyways, it turns out that Iris and I were in some after-school clubs together, and that experience helped push us closer.
Wait a second. You mean you're Zeke from high school?
Ding, ding, ding. I had actually completely forgotten about you until Iris brought you up. It took a while for it all to come back to me, but if you thought that someone like you could ever replace Iris, you're crazy. I mean, do you really think that adults act like that? We're not in school anymore. You need to realize that.
But what's going on? I had no idea that you owned your own company. You're so different than how you used to be.
Well, I don't know what to tell you except that people change over time. I'd like to think that most people improve, but you show me it's possible for people to only get worse as well. Anyways, I don't want to keep your boss waiting any longer than he needs to. And while you deal with whatever consequences he sought up for you, I'm going to enjoy a lovely, quiet night in with my wife. Have a nice life, Kelly.
After that, Zeke was informed by Iris's boss that after their discussion, he had decided to let her go. What happened next really shocked me. It turns out that Iris was actually carrying on an affair with her boss and that his wife was quite suspicious. The wife hired a PI to uncover more about her husband's affair and found out about him and Kelly. Then she sued the both of them for their affair. Meanwhile, more of Iris's affairs came to light and lawsuits from upset spouses began to pour in. In the end, Kelly was buried in legal debts that she couldn't afford and lacked the income to pay them off. She quickly started working some part-time jobs and moved into a tiny apartment where she can afford to make payments on her debts. Kelly thought that as an adult, she could act the way she did when she was nothing but a high school bully. She may have even gotten away with it for a little, but her luck was bound to run out. Ever since then, Kelly's been too busy to ever try and bother us again. But that works out just fine for Zeke and I. We couldn't be happier.
You know, I was really looking forward to today since Ben told me that he had a beautiful sister that he knew I would love. But I show up to the dinner, and who does he introduce me to? Some ugly old lady. I mean, I wasn't expecting much, but you really showed me a new kind of love today. What? I was born an only child, so I've always wanted an older sister since I was a little girl. A beautiful, perfect older sister who is mature and can help me with anything in life. But I guess what I get is an ugly old lady who doesn't even seem reliable for anything. I don't need a sister if this is what I'm getting.
Sabrina? Are you okay? I thought we just became friends after getting to know each other at the dinner earlier. Why are you saying these things to me?
Of course, I'm going to act friendly with you if Ben's there. But the truth is that I was really disappointed by you. I was really excited to meet you since Ben kept bringing you up about how proud he was to have you as his older sister. So, I dressed up all nice and showed up to see a wrinkly old lady waiting for us. How is it even possible that the two of you were born 10 years apart? I just wanted to go home at that point, but I didn't want Ben to feel bad for bringing me, so I just acted as nice as I could.
And you think it's the right thing to do to say all of those horrible things to my face after we leave? Couldn't you have at least kept those thoughts to yourself? Preferably to the grave? It isn't too hard to imagine how someone would feel after being called an ugly old lady, you know?
I told you all of this because I feel the need to make things clear.
What do you mean?
Wasn't I adorable at the dinner, all smiley and happy? Well, I didn't want you to get the wrong idea and start treating me like a younger sister, so I told you how I really felt.
This is why I have trust issues. Whatever, good for you.
The bottom line is, don't talk to me ever again, okay? I don't want to be seen talking to some old hag like you, and nor do I want to waste my time talking to you.
Could you stop mocking me just because you're young? You're going to end up regretting it when you're my age, trust me.
Do you really think I'm making fun of your age itself just because I'm younger than you? I would never do that. I know that I'll be your age one day too.
It sounds like that's exactly what you're doing right now. Why would you make fun of me for being an ugly old hag if it wasn't because I'm old?
Because you're ugly. Besides, I'm not even making fun of you. I just hate being near people like you, so I'm being very honest with you and myself.
I don't understand a single thing you're saying.
I'm saying that it's not a matter of choice. I just inherently hate being near people like you, and I can't help it. A lot of ladies who are over their 30s are so obnoxious and full of pride, and I absolutely hate people like that. See, I have a proper reason to repel you as a person.
What kind of reason is that? It's not like every single person that's over 30 is mean.
No, every single one of you is horribly mean. Just take a look at my workspace, and you'll see that I'm telling the truth.
What?
All the women over 30 there are so prideful and unkind. They're all jealous of me because I'm so young, and they practically bully me like in grade school. So I decided that the best thing to do in response is to hate their guts back.
Oh, well, I'm sorry you had to go through that.
As a matter of fact, it really isn't just the people who I work with, it's every single middle-aged person. They'll disgust me. So I decided to hate everyone who's over 30 years old. That's why I hate you as well, Molly. I wish you people who hate young people just because you're jealous should all just disappear.
Hey Ben, I want to talk about Sabrina with you. Do you have a minute?
Yeah? What's up?
Well, it seems that Sabrina hates my guts.
What? Why'd she hate you? You guys barely met. She seemed to like you a lot at the dinner last night.
That's what I thought too, but I received a text from her today. She said that she couldn't believe that the two of us were 10 years apart, and that she didn't want an ugly old hag that's over 30 to be her older sister.
She said that to you?
Yeah, but don't misunderstand her. Apparently, she's been through a lot with her colleagues at work. And now she has a sort of phobia towards people who are middle-aged or older.
What do you mean she has a phobia? And why'd that apply to you?
She said that her colleagues at work have been very unkind towards her, and that the people who attacked her for being young are all over 30 years old. So she started to grow and initiate fear for people around that age inside of her.
So now she hates you just because you're in the same age frame as her. How does that make any sense? Just because you're the same age as them doesn't mean you're as mean or disrespectful as those people.
Well, it seems like it makes sense in her mind. She told me not to speak to her ever again, and that she has no intentions of getting close to me. But, I mean, we are, as a matter of fact, becoming in-laws, so I was wondering if you had any ideas as to how I could become closer to Sabrina.
First things first, I'm sorry for all this. I didn't even think that Sabrina would be capable of saying such mean things to anyone. In her name, I apologise.
It's fine, and it's nothing for you to apologize about.
Thanks. So this is all because of her trouble at work, huh? That's probably the reason why she's been so insistent on becoming a stay-at-home wife after we get married.
What?
I've actually heard about the fact that she's been having some trouble at work on a few occasions. She's been asking me over and over again if she could just take care of the home instead of the both of us working. So if her problems at work are getting to her that badly, then that's probably why she doesn't want to be there anymore. But it'll be difficult for me to single-handedly make enough money for the both of us to have good lives. But even when I recommend that she move to another workplace, she told me that she was mentally broken after working at her old job. So I'm not too sure what the best move is to make at this point.
I probably wouldn't know what to do either if I was in your shoes. Realistically speaking, if you don't have enough money, then there aren't many options. But then again, I know it's difficult for you to ask your wife to work, even though she's so mentally worn out.
Exactly. I just concluded that I need to work as hard as I can for the both of us. We'll see where that takes us. I've always had a reputation for my endless energy. I can work from day in to day out and I'll be completely fine.
That doesn't sound like too great of a plan to me. Are you sure you're going to be happy living like that?
Of course, I'll be happy. I'm sure Sabrina will gradually get better, if I can give her some time to rest at home. And if she's better, then I'm happy. I'll also be sure to tell her how much you've helped me throughout life, and how much of an amazing person you are. Maybe that way she'll be able to acknowledge that some people are more respectable than others. She'll be willing to become closer to you.
I hope so. Sorry for causing another problem for the two of you.
You haven't caused anything, don't worry about it.
Thanks, Ben.
Of course, and thanks for coming to the dinner with us yesterday. It really did mean a lot. Sabrina and I are going to have the best wedding that you've ever been to, so get ready for that.
I can't believe you. How could you do this to me? Why the hell did you push me into the pool? This is the first time in my life anyone's ever done something so horrible to me.
Oh, well, sorry for stealing your first time. This was the only way I could think of. No hard feelings, okay?
What do you mean?
I wanted you to go home no matter what. I didn't want you at my wedding. But you wouldn't just leave even if I told you to, would you? So I thought about how to get you to leave no matter what. That's when I came up with the idea to sabotage your outfit so you wouldn't be able to stay. So I just pushed you into the pool.
What? So you just decided that it was okay to push me into the pool? You're crazy!
What else was I supposed to do? I hate old ladies like you. Did you expect me to just sit still and watch while you ruin my once-in-a-lifetime experience?
How many times do I have to tell you that I'm not an old lady? I thought Ben explained that I wasn't the horrible person that you thought I was.
Yes, he did. And it made me hate you even more.
What?
Ben's a very family-first type of guy. He sat beside me and spoke about you and how you're an amazing person and that I had the wrong impression about you. You were always a caring older sister who would always take care of Ben when his parents couldn't, right? But the more he spoke about you, the more I became annoyed that he sounded like he loved someone else more than me. So the more he tries to make me like you, the more I hate you.
How does that make sense?
He's been especially annoying about you lately. No matter where we are, he starts talking about you. I absolutely hate the way you've made him. And I absolutely hate you yourself even more.
Don't you get it? The only reason that Ben's been talking about me a lot was because he wanted us to get along with each other. He cares about the both of us, and he'd give anything for us to be good sisters-in-law.
Well, he's failed miserably to accomplish that. I mean, you can't just unhate something that you absolutely despise, can you? It was the best feeling over to push you into that pool. From now on, I might just push any old person over when no one's looking.
Sabrina.
Well then, you better get going, old lady. I don't want you to make the wedding all dirty with your wet clothes.
Whatever. I don't even want to go anyways.
Bye-bye. The wedding's about to begin, by the way. I'm about to have the time of my life.
I will go home. But let me say one last thing to you. I really did try to meet in the middle with you, but I guess I'm allowed to give up on you after what you've done to me today. You're going to regret pushing me into that pool.
That's great. We'll see you then.
I can't take you anymore. I'll make sure that you'll never forgive yourself for this. Be prepared.
You're starting to get annoying. Just go home and tuck yourself into bed, you wet old hag. The exit's that way.
Even if you beg on your knees while crying, I won't stop you.
Do you need some therapy or what? It's always the old ladies and their endless, meaningless conversations. You're the same as all the others, so shut up. Molly, please come back to the wedding hall, please. Ben's with you, isn't he? Please just bring him back.
Yes, Ben's with me. My kind little brother got worried about his soaking wet older sister and made sure that I got home safe.
Well, please tell him to come back to the wedding this instant. The whole crowd is panicking because he won't show up. The workers are saying that they're going to have to call the wedding off if the groom won't show up.
You don't have to worry about that, honey. I heard Ben making a call to the wedding company earlier. He was talking about calling the wedding off anyways.
What? Why on earth would he do that?
Gee, I wonder why, Sabrina. Why would I ever want to get married to you if this was who you really were? Really, pushing your own fiancé's older sister into a pool before the wedding. Seriously.
Ben, is that you?
I can't believe this. If you didn't like how I was talking about my sister so much, then why didn't you just let me know? You should have just said that you would have hated me no matter what I did. Then I would have thought of other ways to have you two get to know each other. But you just ruined it, all by pushing her into a pool before our wedding. What kind of psycho comes up with an idea like that?
Please don't call me a psycho, honey. I just needed her to leave, and that was the way that I was sure would get her to leave.
That was your idea? After thinking everything through? Well then, I guess I just saved my children from inheriting your tiny brain genetics.
How could you say that?
I'm not even mad anymore. I'm disappointed. The wedding's over, and I'm regretting that I ever got engaged to you. We're getting divorced as soon as we get the chance.
Wait, please just wait a minute. I don't want to get divorced from you.
I don't care. This is the only option that's left for me. I can't get married to someone who can't value my family the same way I do.
Wait, we can talk this out. I know that you're angry right now, but please just think about how I felt.
What do you mean?
You know this, don't you? That all of the old ladies at work would bully me and treat me horribly. And that I hate everyone that I consider to be an old lady. I have a valid reason to hate your sister. And if you're my fiancé, then you should be understanding towards these things.
Stop acting like the victim. You get hated on because you slack off at work, right?
Well?
I tried my very best to be as understanding as I could towards you. So I contacted your workplace, see if they could take any actions to make things better for you. They told me that they would run some checks and interviews to see if there really was any issue.
What? You contacted them?
Yeah, because I cared for you. And I couldn't bear to keep seeing you so worn out because of your work. I was ready to go as far as to hire a lawyer and sue the company for it.
Oh no.
But what do I receive in response? A call to come over to their office to address some issues with you. They told me that after inspection and interviews, they came to the conclusion that you were the one who was making them look bad. You were making fun of your senior colleagues as soon as you first got into the company, weren't you? I heard that you would ridicule the other workers because you were the only young one there.
No, this is a misunderstanding.
No, it ain't, Sabrina. They even called over your colleagues to talk face to face with me.
What?
They had some of the things that you said to them recorded as proof. I got to listen to some of them. I heard my fiancé call people hags, make fun of their physical features. Let me ask you how you thought that wouldn't be hated at work if you treated everyone around you like that. I'm not on your side anymore. As a matter of fact, no one is.
Please don't say that, Ben.
Your colleagues aren't in the wrong. My sister ain't in the wrong. If anything, this means that you were just harassing my older sister for no apparent reason. You better give her a proper apology sometime soon. And know that I'll never forgive you for this.
Ben!
My sister is 10 years older than me. So what? I'm sure my sister had a difficult time figuring out how to deal with such a young brother. But she was always there to help me with my homework. She even cooked when my parents were working until late. But my sister is the best sister in the world.
Ben, I'll apologize for every single word I've said until now, so please, don't leave me. Please come back. We can still finish the wedding. Everyone gathered just to congratulate us. We can't just make them leave, can we?
I don't care. The wedding is cancelled, and that's final. I'll make sure that the cancellation fee goes to you, so be prepared for that.
Please forgive me for everything I've done. I know that I can't take back what I said, but I regret everything deeply. So please help me get back together with Ben. He's already made up his mind about the divorce, and I can't get him to listen to me. Just sign the divorce papers, Sabrina. I want my little brother to get married to someone who can make him the happiest boy in the world. And I'm sorry, but you've proven to us yourself that you aren't that someone. Please don't say something like that. I'll be a completely different person from now on. I'll be unbelievable friendly to you. What? You've taken very good care of your brother that's 10 years younger than you, haven't you? Then I'm sure you could do the same with a younger sister as young. Please think of me as a younger sister and take good care of me. Why the hell would I want to take care of you? I hate your guts. Huh? Asking me for help won't do you any good, so you should just give up on that and give up altogether and just get a divorce from my brother. I'll never get divorced. We just got married to each other. And I still love Ben. Well, it looks like Ben doesn't love you back anymore. He even went as far as to say that he doesn't even remotely feel any interest in you. He hates me that much? I mean, I guess I was a little annoying, but all I did was have fun making fun of old ladies. The way you say it, all I did, just goes to show off how little you regret doing what you did. I'm confident that Ben won't even bother listening to whatever you have to say with that mentality like that. So just get the divorce done with and go gather money to pay for the cancellation fee and compensation. What? What do you mean compensations? Isn't that money that people who cheat have to pay? I never cheated on Ben. You pay compensation when you force mental pain on someone else. It doesn't have to be cheating. When you pushed your fiancé's older sister into a pool. My brother had to endure mental pain because of that, and I endured mental pain as well. I need you to pay for my dress and purse since they got injured by the water. But are you finally starting to realize the scale of what you started between us? Well, that's the idea. So neither I nor my brother will go easy on you. We won't be making any deductions towards the price, and make sure it's a one-time payment. A one-time payment? Good luck. It's scary when a 30-year-old ugly hag gets mad, isn't it? Ha! After Sabrina finally gave up, she signed the divorce paper, making the divorce official. On top of that, the cancellation fee and compensation added up to $80,000. After borrowing money from several shady organizations and her own payments, Sabrina was finally able to make the payment. After that, she was fired from her job for everything she'd done to her colleagues. Now she's trying to get married to a rich man by attending matchmaking parties hosted all over the state. However, most of the other attendees are college students in their 20s, so she's getting made fun of like never before, being 25.